Bootlegs are an interesting subject. You see them posted on the internet all the time, often mishmashing a myriad of different franchises into one weird combination. Some of my favourite bootlegs are the toys. Oh boy, they are just a joy to look at. So first off, there's just some weird stuff like E.T. goes pumping iron. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, you know? I love the stance, it's majestic. What a sight to see. And then you have funny Dino and Martin, and hey, you okay there, Martin? Looks like the mushrooms in this universe are a little more than just power-ups. Then you have things like Star Warriors. Is that what you're going with? You know, Star Warriors has a better flaw, but who am I to judge? But oh my, that beard. Is this a Lionel Richie and Yoda hybrid? I mean, I can dig it. Oh man, this figure range has Door Ladder too? Man, he's my favourite. Oh, and galaxies are far, far away. They sure are. Man, these toys are so educational. I gotta see more. And we're done. Where I'm going with this is that there are a slew of bootleg movies out there, usually based on acclaimed movies for kids. Whenever a modern classic children's film is created, a monster is created in its shadow. The bootleg kids movie. Usually they entail the title of the actual film somehow, but it's presented in a way that just about gets them off the copyright hook. Not that that really matters these days. But today we're scraping the bottom of the bootleg barrel when we review the masterpiece that is Ratatoing. Ratatoing is a movie, I think. It's a 40-minute long Brazilian animation from 2007, the same year as its actually good counterpart, Ratatouille. According to Wikipedia, which doesn't give the movie a full page by the way, the 44-minute long film tells the story of Marcel Toing, a mouse, not even a rat, who is the most gifted chef in Rio de Janeiro. He owns the famed restaurant Ratatoing along with his crew, consisting of fellow mice Carol and Greg. They plan out weekly raids on human kitchens to acquire fresh ingredients for use in their dishes. I mean, that's not the worst idea for a plot, so could it really be that bad? So the film begins with a shot showing Rio de Janeiro, and I gotta be honest, something looks really off about this skyline. Maybe it's the fact that the whole scene looks like a series of compressed image files trying to create the illusion of 3D. Well, okay, and this street isn't too bad looking, I guess. Kinda reminiscent of Telltale 7 Max, honestly.
Just to taste the famous recipes served there at Ratatoing.
You know, I can't really get over the name. I don't even have a joke about it, it's just awful. And also, this narrator, he is basically just pure exposition. That's how you know we're in for an amazing 40 minutes.
Chef Marcel Toing prepares the most delicious and exotic dishes, always using special secret ingredients.
And not really that secret, is it? I mean, I can see the worms, Marcel. You ain't fooling me. But wait, didn't the film's plot say that they raid food from human kitchens? What the hell is this? Worms and peas? I mean, more power to the guy if he makes that work, but you've stolen all this human food already. Why include the worms, bro? Oh, and there are flies too, apparently. Because gross out humor is gourmet. Oh god, is this what the rats look like? Look at their mouth animations, they're so twitchy and gross. I mean, I wasn't expecting quality, but it looks like, you know, bad. There are animations from amateur YouTubers with a higher standard than this. Not that there's anything wrong with YouTube animators, of course, but they do better than this without a budget. I mean, what the hell? They have vacant, terrifying, black, beady eyes. And the female rats have... they have rat boobs. I can't even make this up. How could you do that? How could you do that to rats? To animated rats? And you know what? This lady sounds like Moira Brown from Fallout 3, and that makes me really uncomfortable.
There's no doubt about that here. Their food is always guaranteed to be delicious.
So what we have here is a scene where rats are basically just complimenting everything at the restaurant.
It's divine, don't you agree, Oscar?
Yes, Maria Liche, just divine.
Because this is something we needed to see. It's such a weird scene. I mean, the mouth animations are already uncomfortable, but honestly, I'm not sure what kind of scene is supposed to be set here. Our hero, and I'm assuming Marcel is supposed to be the hero character, is already successful, so it's not like he's a down-on-his-luck character rising to the top. We're basically starting out with no struggle or anything, just some rats who talk too much about how good Marcel is.
Huh? What the heck is this?
Calm down, there are kids watching this. Do you want to show that level of aggression?
I ordered the flies with gorgonzola sauce, and this is definitely camembert sauce.
Is that really the problem there?
But this definitely is gorgonzola, sir. It is not camembert.
Oh, you're right. I somehow confused them. I'm so terribly sorry.
So what was the point of that dialogue exactly? What did we get out of it? Nothing. It's absolutely worthless. So then the pink rat does a sassy walk into the kitchen. Also, why are you pink? Are you sick? You know, I'm just genuinely concerned here that that rat may have been poisoned. As a matter of fact, the main trio of characters are easily identified by the colour of their fur. It's kind of like, you know, like an anime where you see a character with some wacky off-colour hair and you're like, oh, I wonder who the protagonist is.
Do you know that the party at table 4 has changed his order again? Now he wants
Let me guess. He wants the spicy, fatty, and crisp spaghetti.
Precisely!
You know, that green guy's voice is really familiar and I just can't seem to... Oh my god, it's Eggman. Like, actually, it's Eggman from Sonic. And Marcel is voiced by Michelangelo from the 2003 Ninja Turtles. You know, this movie has my childhood up against a firing squad and I'm gonna tell them to pull the trigger.
I'm glad you know the ordering habits of your clientele.
Please don't do that again. Also, you might notice that Greg over here, and yes, his name is Greg, says precisely a lot.
Precisely! Precisely! Precisely!
Yeah, I think that's an attempt at a catchphrase, but it's not funny. It's just not funny at all. Wow. Did this script actually make it past the first draft? Because this is rock bottom dialogue. And this restaurant scene just drags on with completely insubstantial and downright weird dialogue.
Let the boy have what he wants.
Yes, Daddy, I love cheddar.
My dear, when exactly did you travel to Europe?
Please, just move on. Give us plot, give us adventure, give us anything.
It was my second cousin Vinny who told me about this great restaurant. Whenever he travels to the city on business, he always eats at the Ratatoing.
Oh my god, these guys just say what's on their mind, don't they? It's like a YouTube comment section up in here. So then, due to popular demand, Marcel comes out to meet his customers. And they're incredibly adamant about knowing this so-called secret ingredient.
The actual secret ingredient that can be found in all of the food prepared here is lots of...
Come on, out with it!
Lots and lots and lots of...
If I know my cliche script writing, he's about to cop out right now.
The dishes are prepared with the secret ingredient of a lot of dedication and care.
There you go. Also, I hate your eyebrows. They look like duck feet. Die in a fire. From here, this table of 4 angry rats ask once again for the secret ingredient, but Marcel doesn't tell them. This sets up the 4 rats as our main villains because they too own a restaurant that was basically run out of business by Marcel. And to be honest, as far as villain motivations go, this is completely reasonable. All they're doing is trying to compete. They just want to be on the map. It's perfectly illogical and not at all villainous. Our diabolical plan is masterful. We plan to be able to compete against a successful restaurant. Well, now that the restaurant is closed, let's look at what the heroes are up to.
Come on, Greg, it's time.
Huh. Yeah, this thing just turns up. Out of nowhere. What? Why? They're gearing up for some kind of mission, but what is this? They make grunts when they put things on, and it's incredibly uncomfortable to watch. Ooh. Why is this a thing? Why are they running in different directions? Why are they in a white room? Is this the Matrix? What plane of existence is this? And we just end up with this shot. Why? These questions will never be answered. I mean, it's one thing to have animation as bad as this, but damn, you could have at least had a good script. We're about a third of the way through the movie and, like, nothing has happened. At all. Like, oh, okay, maybe it's a kids movie, maybe I'm not the target audience, but Ratatouille is a great movie that can be enjoyed by more than one demographic. But would a kid even enjoy this? Not only has nothing happened, but there's been nothing eye-catching. No action scenes, no slapstick humour, nothing. You don't start a kids movie with a long dry spell of boring dialogue. It's basic script writing. What the hell were they even going for here? Honestly, it doesn't take a genius to write a semi-decent script for a movie of this caliber, especially when you're riding off the coattails of something already really popular. Not even Foodfight messed its script up this badly. I can't believe I'm actually defending Foodfight here. This is what Ratatoing has reduced me to. I mean, you know, Ratatoing does seem to be a smaller project, but that does not excuse this.
Greg, have you forgotten that it's Thursday night?
Oh, I forgot we do something special on Thursday night.
Every character speaks in exposition. It's ridiculous. From here, the rat trio enters the human kitchen, and this is where they steal all their food from. Oh, and also this villain lady rat follows them because the waiter forgot to lock the door. Seriously, great plot point, guys. Very, very believable. It's like a Deus Ex Machina for the bad guys. I mean, what? Oh, never mind. The waiter had a bow tie on his finger. I can see why he'd be distracted. Can I also mention that I'm not even covering this fully in order? I'm covering it in the most logical chronology I can come up with because this film has such a messy script that they show the waiter scene after the villain rat walks right in. You know, it's kind of like Pulp Fiction, except they didn't intend to mix up the chronology, and it's just bad, and it has rats in it. And then through a hilarious turn of events, Greg accidentally turns on the ceiling fan and Marcel gets swung around. And then, so does Greg, because we need our hilarious incompetent side character, don't we? And then the female character doesn't know how to turn off the fan and mishears Greg.
They pushed the button behind you!
Did you say pull?
How hilarious! Anyway, the bad lady rat catches them and figures out that they get their fresh ingredients from the humans. And because of Greg's hilarious shenanigans, this time they only get a single strawberry.
We were able to bring back an excellent strawberry.
We're at the halfway point here, and the only thing we've established so far is that Marcel has a monopoly in the rat food business because of his immoral addiction to stealing from humans who could potentially invest in rat death machines, which affects not only Marcel and his incompetent cronies, but also the entire rat populace of that area. And that includes the elderly and the children. Marcel isn't a hero, he's a fat rat capitalist driven by pure greed. He has no regard for those around him, and the only thing that matters is profits, and not even his own life is valuable. From here, the four villains discuss the juicy info that the nosy rat found, and from there they hatch a vile scheme to keep themselves in business. Also, that floor has a really low-res texture file. I just wanted to point that out.
Okay, guys, when I say now, we put our great plan in motion.
Well, this ought to be good. I mean, I wonder what they have in store.
1, 2, 3, now!
Should have known. Why? Please tell me why and how. What is his plan? Dancing? Clearly the scene shows them scaring humans, so what's the relevance of the can-can? This film is like the movie equivalent of acid reflux. That's how it makes me feel. Oh well, their shenanigans cause the humans to put down a load of mousetraps, and I mean a lot of mousetraps. So the next time our so-called heroes do their gear up sequence, and yes, it does happen a second time, they see a lot of traps. Like, wow. Oh dear. Except it doesn't, because Marcel finds something worth taking. A whole bar of chocolate, without wrapping. Just on the counter, exposed, in a South American climate. You know, I would say it's a trap, but I don't think the movie's smart enough to have that plot point.
Oh, that's great. We've never had any chocolate before.
Now that's not quite true, is it?
2 chocolate ice cream with biscuit bran.
The chemicals are finally getting to her brain. God bless her soul, she probably only has a couple weeks left. Oh, hello there. Oh, God. Well, now.
I can't talk now.
Oh, is that how cats work? No, it isn't. Is that a cat? cat or an angry goblin? Look at him wobbling around on those little stumpy legs. I feel like he's about to give me a side quest in an MMO. Why is this actually a thing? Marcel and the Rat Brigade are forced to escape, and the Ratatoing restaurant suffers because they don't have ingredients. So this is the problem that needs to be solved. Finally, we have an actual plot. And we're like 75% of the way through the movie. I hate it. Realising that the only way forward is to get that food, they gear up once more. And yes, it does happen a third time. I want to die. This time, Marcel goads the cat into chasing him while Greg and the other one get some cheese. But surprise, surprise, we then have the arrival of two of the bad rats. And they hold up the two good rats with cocktail sticks. Those are some very dangerous weapons. I mean, I have some in my house, but they're an illegal import.
But why? Don't you think there's enough cheese here for all of us? Go get your own, but watch out for the traps!
You ever heard of punctuation? I hear it's pretty good these days.
Hey, look behind you guys, it's a monster!
You must really think we're idiots. First you think we don't know about the rat traps, and now you give us the old behind you bit.
I'm losing my patience with you. Hand over those bags of yours.
That's it, my big friend. Grab these two and take them to your boss and see how proud he is of you.
Okay, what happened to the conflict between the cat and Marcel? Did something happen there?
How did you get him to want to cooperate with you? He's your natural enemy.
Well, I had a homemade snack in my bag. I offered it to him, he loved it, and he wanted more.
Oh, never mind. Apparently Marcel trained the cat with his food? Okay. It's not like this movie could have been saved anyway. It might as well end with a cop-out. So, the problem is solved literally minutes after it was created. The cat gives the villain rat to the humans, and the restaurant can thrive once more.
And soon the Ratatoing was full again. Almost everything seemed to be back to normal. I said almost everything, didn't I?
So what actually did happen to those two villain rats, and what about their wives?
I heard those rats of ours were sent to an out-of-town laboratory.
Oh, sent to a lab? Well, that's dark. The moral is, don't stick it to the man, because the man always wins. Ratatoing is a movie that can join the exalted league of awful we've come to adore. It's terribly scripted and dreadfully animated, and the story is so insubstantial and full of pointless, dumb moments that it actually hurts. The humour is completely flat, it's a total mess, and the script feels like the first attempt. You know, I don't even think it's a far cry to say this might just be the worst animated movie ever made, because there isn't a single thing about it that's redeemable. You know, I don't really know how to end this. I mean, we all knew it was going to be a bad movie, but maybe it was an outlier, an anomaly in their work. We all make mistakes. Maybe I should give them another shot. I mean, would it kill me to watch another one of their works?
The magic's in the ball.
Yep, it'll kill me. Spooky!